Hi, from Teacher Melissa, and I want to talk to you today about a behavior that we occasionally see in our classroom. Here I am in my holiday classroom, but this has nothing to do with the holidays and can happen year-round occasionally. And that is when a student uses language that we would be considered crude, cursing, cussing, foul language, whatever you call it in your neck of the woods in the U.S. or in Canada. This happens sometimes in our classroom, or maybe the student will flip you off. They might be saying these words, they might be giving you the middle finger, they might be writing something on the screen, but this does happen occasionally. So I want to take you through the regular steps that I go through with many behaviors and show you how great they work with this kind of behavior also. First of all, step one, I always check my own attitude. I am the adult here. I'm talking to a child. I don't need to be offended. I don't need to be upset. Now, I know it can be kind of shocking when it happens, but in reality, I'm the adult. I'm working with a child. Even if they're a teenager, they're still a child. There may be more of a child if they're a teenager, but I'm still the adult. So I'm just going to check my attitude, take a big breath, and then plunge in with what I need to do. So just checking my own attitude first really helps the class go a bit smoother. And then number two, I always assume innocence on the part of the child for whatever behavior, especially this behavior. Folks, 9 times out of 10, I will literally say 90% at least, the student in front of me has no idea that the words they are using to you or that they have said are in any way inappropriate for a student to say to a teacher. The parents have no idea in many cases. They are hearing these words on American movies, American TV shows. So they hear people saying them all the time and they have no idea that they are not appropriate words or words that people would normally say to each other in a school setting. Okay, I'll tell you a funny story. One time I had a student in my classroom and they were a little child, maybe 5, 6 years old, and they started doing the little dance and suddenly they ran out of the room. And I was pretty sure I knew what was happening, but mom was there and she says, "Oh, teacher, wait a moment, wait a moment." And she gets on her phone, says something in Chinese, and then says, teacher, wait a moment. Coco has to shit." And I said, "Oh, okay, no problem." I said nothing to mom at that point. So the innocence can just be somebody looking up a word on a translation app, and that's what comes up. You know that poop emoji? I have kids just tell me that's what the poop emoji is, which I do not like that emoji. I don't ever use it. But I've seen my students use it, and they don't know. Assume innocence. It will go so well with you. Now, usually, right then is when it stops, when I tell them this. I just tell them to stop. I say, "Oh, do not say that in class." So I will just say, "Oh, that is not a nice word." And I will always pull up my American flag and I keep it in the classroom setting. In America, this is not a nice thing to say for a student to say to a teacher. Do not say this in class. This is not polite. And I will say that if they're flipping me off, I'll say, "Oh, that is not a nice thing to say. That is very inappropriate for student to show teacher in America. In my class, do not do this." And if they keep doing it, I'm just going to tell them to stop. So I've told them once, they kind of snicker. If they do it again, I'm telling them to stop. I'm holding up my little stop sign. Coco, stop. Bobby, stop. Do not show me that finger, Bobby. Do not show me. Stop. No more. Okay? Are you ready for class? Flat out tell them to stop. Now, at this point, if I'm back here at assume innocence and I just say, "Oh, that is not polite. Do not say that in America," in classroom, most students stop. Here, I'm at about 85%. 85% are going to stop right here. I just tell them to stop and they don't do it anymore because I'm a little more firm. I let them know. Not only is this not appropriate to say in a classroom in America, you may not say it in my room here. This is my class. You may not say this. You may not show me that finger. And they usually stop. Now, I'm going to say you're going to get a large percentage of students. This fixes everything. And if that's the case, I say nothing to parents in feedback. I say nothing to the learning partner in feedback. The student has stopped. They've complied with my request. They understood when I told them it was inappropriate, and often they're a little bit embarrassed because they didn't know, and they stopped. So we just go on with class as normal. There's no reason to tell anybody anything. It's just like correcting a pronunciation. You corrected it, they got it, they're great, good, go on. Just let it go. It's no big deal. I don't say anything at that point. Now, what if they don't stop? What if they just keep on with it? My next step in my classroom is I start asking them, where's mom? Bobby, where's mom? Go get mom. Mom, hello, mom. I'm calling for mom. And I'm asking Bobby to go get mom. Okay? Now, that takes care of another 15% right there. They straighten up. They know I'm going to talk to mom. They don't do it anymore. Okay? They will say, oh, no, no, mom, I will not say this. And then we're good to go. So that's just my next step. Number 4, I ask where mom is. Okay? But sometimes you're going to get those few, that 20%, maybe 25%, something like that, who that doesn't phase. They know mom's not home. They know mom doesn't pay attention to their classes because mom's busy with something else, or mom's at work, or dad's at work. And it doesn't phase them at all. And they're going to keep going. They're pushing your buttons. Okay? My next step is my awkward pause. I go to that end screen that's blank if you've got one, or I will go to the welcome screen, the hello screen, the beginning of the lesson, and I draw a big X and I sit there. Yeah, that long. And then I will say, Jojo, stop. You do not do this in my class. I will wait till you are ready for class. Notice I'm in my neutral face. I'm not smiling, but I'm not angry like this either. I'm just going to let it rest on the neutral. No, I will wait. Might look at my watch. I will wait. I'll pause like 10 seconds. It's a long time in an online class. Then I'll bright smile. Are you ready for class now? If they cuss me out again, okay, I'll wait. So I'm just going to rest to neutral, tell them I will wait, long awkward pause. If they then comply, great. Flip to the slide, whatever we're on, and just go on, okay? Then I'm going to pull out the big guns at the end. If they just continue and they're upset about something and they know they're old enough. This isn't like level 1, of course, folks. We're talking level 4 and up here. Level 3 sometimes. If they're continuing, it's usually an older student who's very upset about something, or just does not like English classes, or doesn't want to be there that day, or for whatever reason, and they just keep going on and on. At that point, I just stop class. I just go to the beginning slide, I go to a blank slide or whatever, and I am calling the fireman. Now, it takes me, folks, I rarely call the fireman for student behavior because at this point in the game, the student has complied with me, usually. Okay, it takes a lot for me to call the fireman. But for this rude, continual flipping me off or rude, continual language, yes, I am going to call the fireman if I have tried over and over all of my strategies. And I always call the fireman on the phone app. Okay, so if you've never done that, it's that little speech bubble thing right there. If you click on that, I promise you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a fireman within 30 seconds on that phone app. So I'm clipping that and I'm telling the student, I will call fireman to call mom. Wait. And then I click on that button and I'm doing speech to text. I want it on the video that I did it. I'm going to say fireman. Student is using inappropriate language. Teacher has asked student to stop. Student will not stop. Please call mom. And then I'm clicking it and I'm typing the exact same thing in the chat box in my classroom. Yes, I want the student to see it. Yes, I want the student to hear me because I have done a lot to try to help them to learn appropriate behavior and they have not. And folks, I am thousands and thousands of miles away. I cannot force this child to do anything, so I need some help. So the fireman will come and will speak to the student in Chinese in the chat box or whatever they need to do. Now, this is not one of those situations that is officially in the VIPKid policy that you can cancel class. It's just words. It's not dangerous. So I don't end class. I don't click that button, but I will just stop class. And I will say, we will wait. We'll wait for the fireman. And then every 15 seconds or so, I'll say, we are waiting for the fireman. Now, I never have to wait very long because if you call on the phone app, they come right away. So it is helpful. So again, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to pause. Now, it rarely gets to that point. But I will tell you, at any point up to calling the fireman, if the student complies, I say nothing. But after that, excuse me, if I have to call the fireman, I am typing to the learning partner and to mom. Student used inappropriate, rude, disrespectful language. I'm using those three. Inappropriate, rude, disrespectful. I'm using all three of those words to the teacher. Teacher asked student to stop. Teacher explained it was rude. Student would not stop. Teacher had to call fireman to help the student. And I'm typing that, and then I am also copying and pasting that part to the learning partner in the feedback to make sure everyone knows that I tried. Okay? And that's how I end class. But I promise you, 9 times out of 10, assume innocence and explain, and everything stops. So don't be worried about this. It just happens. They just don't know. So I hope this helps you. And you can use these tips for other types of behaviors as well. And again, usually just assuming innocence, and most behaviors stop like that. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And I hope this works for you. Let me know how it goes.